in 277 days. This is just the preseason game, but they'll take the victory. Steph Curry played just over 21 minutes, had 10 points. Also saw a starting lineup with not just Curry, but Oubre and Andrew Wiggins. Remember, Draymond Green and Jonathan Wiseman did not play tonight. They get the win over the Denver Nuggets, who went to the Western Conference Finals. Let's hear from Steve Kerr, who's at the podium speaking with the media.
Hi, everybody. Who wants to start?
Hi, Steve. Gareth Burke, NBC Sports Bay Area. What did you think of the spirit on defense tonight?
That was the highlight of the game for me. It was just the way we defended from the very beginning of the game, the activity level, the energy. We were flying around out there, and I thought that set a really good tone. I think we have a chance to be an excellent defensive team. Really excited, and obviously Draymond and James aren't out there yet. And but when you think about the length and athleticism that we can put out there, if we play with activity and energy, we can be really good.
What do you think of what Bazemore and Wanamaker give you together, too, kind of as like a bench combo?
Yeah, I mean, I thought in that first half, both guys were really good. You know, Brad has a nice way about him. He just kind of settles the game down, and Baze is he's a kind of a wild card. You know, he can make 3 or 4 plays in a row. A bucket, a steal, a knockdown, a three. He's a streaky player, but he can be really effective. So I liked seeing them together, and next week we'll probably work a little bit more on what that second unit might look like. But I think those two guys are clearly going to be in it.
Michael Mulder made his first three-pointers, had those 2 free throws late in the game. What did you think about his night overall?
Well, Mike is a really, really good player. He showed that last year when he came up late in the season, and obviously his shooting is important to us. We need as much shooting as we can get. So he hit a couple big ones when Denver made that run in the second half. Damian Lee made a big one. Jordan Poole played well for us. So I like the effort from all those guys.
Steve, it looks like you're going to have a 15-man active rotation or active per game. Will that affect your rotation at all, you think?
No, it'll just make things easier in terms of, before the game. For the last, since I've been coaching, you have to make a decision on who's active, who's not. And if you have 15 healthy bodies, you got to tell 2 guys that are not suiting up. That's no fun. So I think it's great. We're going to, obviously carry 15. And so for all 15 to be able to suit up is a big deal.
Steve, everybody was knocking off some rust, understandably so, but specific to Steph, what did you think of seeing him out there again and how he performed? Well,
it's always just great to see him out on the floor. And I think he looks really good physically. That's the main thing. He worked so hard in the off season, and he's in great shape. And now it's just a matter of getting his timing and his rhythm down. But he's definitely a sight for sore eyes.
Hi, Steve. Carlos Ramirez from NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. Was there anything that surprised you from your team or amazed you tonight?
No, this is kind of what I expected, Carlos. We've only had 5-6 days since camp started. We think we can build a good defense right away. And I think offense is going to take a little longer. It always does when you have a new team. So we've got to figure out what we're going to do offensively, who we're going to play together, that sort of thing. But in the meantime, if we're defending and getting stops, we can get out and run and score, 61 points like we did in the first half, just off of effort and energy. So I'm excited. I think we're going to get a lot better as the season goes on. And this was a good start for us, a good week and a good first exhibition game.
Steve, you guys took 40 3-pointers tonight. That's almost 9 more than what you guys took on average last year. Was that the point of emphasis going into the game, or is that more of what the Nuggets were giving you?
No, the emphasis in camp has been our spacing. You know, we're just trying to get space behind the 3-point line a little bit better than we have in the past. And if we do that, we're naturally going to fall into more threes. So I'm fine with it. You know, it's kind of it lends itself well to our team, not necessarily because we're a great 3-point shooting team, but because we're athletic. That floor spacing opens up the court for a lot of guys who can get to the rim. And so if we're taking a lot of threes, generally that means they're going to be open. We're not going to take many challenged ones. So open shots are good shots. That's how I look at it.
Steph is such a unique player, you know, the way he runs off ball, some of the stuff he does. How long in your experience does it take guys who haven't played with Steph to learn, you know, that ecosystem essentially?
Yeah, it takes time for sure. He's so unique. There's nobody like him in the NBA, nobody who can play on and off the ball at that level and who creates that kind of havoc. And so I think with most players who come in, you know, they're not used to the second half of the possession. They're sort of used to whatever the pattern is in the beginning. But as soon as maybe Steph gives up the ball, that's when the action really starts, the way we play. And that's the tricky part for guys to figure out. So Steph's movement off the ball in the latter part of every possession is really key for us. And that's where all the new guys have to figure out what their roles are.
All right, that's Steve Kerr after the Warriors win in their preseason opener. Just about 3 weeks since finding out the news that Klay Thompson would miss the year. They draft James Wiseman with the number 2 pick. He did not play tonight. And he needed to be more athletic, trying to get this group with a lot of new players to get to know one another with only 5 or 6 practices so far.
But he was extremely happy, and we got a chance to see their defense. Kelly Oubre is a good one-on-one defender. Wiggins is a good one-on-one defender. And he was talking about the Golden State Warriors, about their defense without Draymond Green and the rim protector and James Wiseman. So that's a good sign for the Golden State Warriors. Yes, their offense has to come, and they're definitely going to miss Klay Thompson. But once they get that rhythm and they get that ball moving, guys being able to knock down shots. I thought last year was huge because they were missing Draymond and Steph and Klay at times. But those second unit guys and new guys got a chance to play a lot of minutes. And a lot of those guys will be coming off the bench right now and give them a big boost.
Forced Denver into 18 turnovers. That resulted into 20 Golden State points tonight. Do you expect once James Wiseman gets acclimated that he'll be a starter with this team, or does Steve Kerr bring him along slowly?
You know, I think they'll probably bring him along slowly just because now he's missed some time of being able to be in camp, obviously him with Draymond Green. But I think if you start to look the way they play, you imagine a high pick and roll with Wiseman diving, whether that's Draymond or Steph getting him easy looks. But once he dives, he takes 2 or 3 people. Now you get open shots from the wings and corner from the 3-point shooter. So now they have some more athleticism, like Steve Kerr has alluded to. They also got a chance to draft and get some guys that have some athleticism. They'll be able to get a chance to run up and down and also get points in the paint where they were lacking at a little bit.
We'll have highlights of